And the sun is well and truly out now. The track temperature has risen just a little bit, so that's a good sign. Let's hope it's a dry race. It makes so much difference to everybody, and particularly here at Hockenheim.
Yes, it summed up the whole weekend when, with the umbrellas on the grid. One moment they were covering the drivers from spitting rain, and then it was beating down sunshine that the umbrellas were for.
So we were with Fisichella there on car camera. Be nice if we could have a ride with Frentzen or Barrichello, particularly Barrichello, because he's got an on-car camera, and it'll be interesting to see him fighting his way through the field. So they line up now in the usual 11 rows, 2 cars. The left-hand side of the grid is the pole position, and there is the man in pole position for this 45-lap race, David Coulthard. The Ferrari pit, the garage, and they're all getting into line now.
Yes, I noticed Coulthard hasn't pointed his car towards the Ferrari at all. He's expecting, I would imagine, to stay down the left-hand side of the track and not have to go over and cover his line against Michael Schumacher. It's crucial how they all get away.
3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and in Germany, it is go!
Schumacher.
And Coulthard gets away, Schumacher tucked up behind him, but Hakkinen goes round, and straight into the barrier goes the Benetton, and there's a Ferrari down there as well. That must be Rubens Barrichello. That must be Rubens Barrichello, or it's Schumacher. It's Schumacher. Incredible. And Fisichella. They started 3rd and 2nd on the grid, and Michael Schumacher is out of the race before it's hardly begun, and the McLarens are already 1st and 2nd, with the Frentzen and with the Jordan of Jarno Trulli up in 3rd position. An incredible development, and Michael Schumacher is again going to score no World Championship points.
And it's such a long lap here, the 2nd longest lap of the year. They'll easily be able to clear those cars before the pack gets around for the first complete flying lap of the day. Those cars will be cleared out of the way. Disaster for Michael Schumacher.
Yeah, but Rubens Barrichello is already slashing his way through the field, and Fisichella and Schumacher talk to each other as we look down on this 200-mile-an-hour plus straight. Rubens Barrichello, there he is. You just saw him coming towards us in the Ferrari. It's McLaren leading, McLaren in 2nd place, the Jordan in 3rd position, and the lead driver is Mika Hakkinen with David Coulthard tucked under his gearbox, and De La Rosa in the Arrows, who's been going so well, is in 4th position, and the 2 Jaguars of Eddie Irvine and Johnny Herbert are up there, both of them in the points, 5th and 6th at the moment.
Yes, unless Herbert's past Villeneuve, Herbert's 7th according to the screens, but Hakkinen got a flying start. Michael got away well too, but seemed to stutter. Yellow flags are out on the start-finish line here, just to tell the driver, wave yellows to tell the drivers they're recovering those cars. No sign of a safety car, no sign of a red flag, and Michael Schumacher is out of the race for sure.
And Barrichello has already gained 8 places. He's up from 18th on the grid to 10th. 2 of those, there he is pulling out, you see, and passing Zonta in the BAR, coming up behind Jacques Villeneuve in the other BAR. For Ferrari now, and for Italy and for Brazil, it's all down to Rubens Barrichello.
And I think I just saw Johnny Herbert passing Irvine too. The Jaguars are running line as 3rd in 5th and 6th. They did clear Villeneuve, as has Verstappen now, who's 8th. But yes, Johnny Herbert now, the leading Jaguar in 5th place.
But look, you see, look at the arrows there surging through. And Jos Verstappen, who started well down through the field, is up into 7th position. These arrows are the revelation of this meeting, because Pedro de la Rosa start...
Here he goes again. Verstappen really in the slipstream there of Irvine. He now has track position. Surely he'll outbrake Irvine. He's passed him already. Verstappen up into 6th.
Yeah, and I reckon Jos Verstappen may be on a 2-stop strategy. This arrows is incredibly quick. It's very, very slippery indeed. The aerodynamics are superb, and the Supertech engine is good. Here's a replay of the start.
Now here we go. Coulthard away moderately well. Schumacher I saw out of the window getting away well, then stuttered, and Hakkinen just drove right through the middle. Now look, Schumacher came across and really blocked Fisichella out. Schuey did not realise Fisichella was there, did not give him any space, and I'm afraid, Michael, you cannot blame that on Fisichella. Look, he's moved across onto his line and then braked. So Fisichella quite late into the corner, but that was at least 50-50. Michael gave him no space.
Yeah, but a lot of the cynics will be saying that's Michael Schumacher's come up and he's had payback time for the things they've been blaming him for in the recent past. But meantime, it's looking great for McLaren, first and second. Trulli is third, De La Rosa is fourth, and look at Barrichello. Barrichello out past Eddie Irvine, who is in seventh position, and there we're riding with Barrichello now as Irvine fights back.
Well, that was astonishing. Irvine had more straight line speed, now turns in on Barrichello, which he was entitled to do. But Barrichello got up alongside, and when the drag really cuts in, well over 200 miles an hour, Irvine started pulling ahead.
That Ford engine, the Cosworth engine, has got massive grunt. It's an improved version with more power, and it's certainly showing up here. It looks as though they've got the setup right for the two Jaguars, as Rubens Barrichello, that we're riding with now, chases Eddie Irvine's green Jaguar, which is behind Jos Verstappen, and Johnny Herbert is up into fifth place. So Häkkinen, Coulthard, then Trulli, behind him De La Rosa. There is Johnny Herbert, followed by Verstappen and Eddie Irvine. Well, the good news so far for Britain is that the Jaguars are well up.
Yes, and now Barrichello's got a much better run on Irvine earlier on in the straight. Now let's see the drag cut in. Can Barrichello make it stick this time? Yes, he's got the line up the inside. Irvine just falling back down the field at this stage.
And that's Eddie Irvine, of course, who won this race brilliantly for Ferrari last year, thanks to the support of his teammate, Mika Salo, who was replacing Michael Schumacher after the German had broken his leg in Britain. Coming through now to complete lap 3. Mika Häkkinen leads David Coulthard. The gap between Coulthard and Trulli is 1.3 seconds, but again, as in Austria, Pedro de la Rosa, who was superb in qualifying, is magnificent here. Look at the orange arrows. There's a big gap between it and the green Jaguar of the red-helmeted Johnny Herbert, who has got Verstappen behind him, and Verstappen has got Barrichello ready to pull out and in the Ferrari and try to get up into the top 6. If in the red Ferrari, Barrichello can get past the orange arrows there of Jos Verstappen, the Dutchman, who was not in very good odour this morning because in the warm-up he drove into Jacques Villeneuve's BAR.
Yeah, very silly accident on the outlap first thing this morning, and damaged both the arrows and Villeneuve's BAR quite extensively, and he had to go and apologise, that's for sure. And look, Verstappen again struggling to slow that arrows down. I think they've got tremendous straight line speed, but struggling a little bit into the braking area, and Barrichello lines up his next victim, but this one's got more straight line speed than the Jaguar he's already overtaken of Irvine.
Yeah, and we've learned here that next year Arrows are going to have the Peugeot engine exclusively, and that will do them no harm whatsoever. So they're in great shape, but McLaren are in even better shape because they're on a potential 16 World Championship points at the present moment, with Mika Häkkinen bidding for 10 of them to win the race. But we're now on lap 4, it's a 45-lap race, so we've gone about 1/10th distance, 1/11th distance.